Dear Carlo Ancelotti, please do not start Lucas Vázquez. If Vázquez starts this match, then surely he has blackmail over you, Carlo. After getting cooked by Raphinha, Rafael Leão, Lookman, surely you're not going to start Lucas Vázquez against Marmoush, who just scored a hat-trick over the weekend. Real Madrid fans will feel, after Tuesday's match, that we should get the job done on Wednesday. And I'll just caution by saying this.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
Despite winning at the Etihad, Real Madrid needs to take this game very seriously. This is a game that reminds me of our clash against Chelsea in the 2021-2022 season. The season where Karim Benzema scored the hat-trick at Stamford Bridge. If any of you guys remember, when we won that game and Benzema scored that hat-trick, we were so confident that once they came back to the Bernabéu that we would blow through them, because being up 3-1 away from home really just meant that if we scored one goal at the Bernabéu, we're in a very comfortable position. But that is not at all what happened. We ended up conceding 3 goals, and it wasn't until an incredible assist by Luka Modric to Rodrigo where we took the game to extra time. You can never underestimate your opponent, especially not a side like this with world-class players. And let's be real, this game over the weekend where Real Madrid was robbed due to a bullshit red card to Jude Bellingham and the ongoing war that LaLiga has with Real Madrid, the league is pretty much a wrap at this point. Many of you are going to say, how can I make a statement like this? But the reality is, the people in leadership in La Liga are coming after Real Madrid. That means that every single game that Real Madrid plays, there's either going to be a bullshit red, Real Madrid is not going to get calls, there's always going to be some sort of controversial refereeing decision, and I don't know when this ends, but it's happened in 3 games in a row. So the focus really needs to be in the Champions League and the Copa del Rey, because this is clearly an agenda against Real Madrid in La Liga. Now, obviously, the team is coming off of a very difficult game where they had to play with 10 men. Both Rodrigo and Ceballos did not start the game against Osasuna, and they were arrested for this game against Manchester City. But when you look overall at Real Madrid's performance against City in that first leg, we created an XG of almost 4. And if you look at City's XG of 1.6, if you take their penalty away, then their XG really is a 0.6. Doing that to Manchester City at their own ground should make you believe that you can win this tie. But as I said, City won their last game with a big margin. They rested a lot of their key players and they didn't have to play with 10 men like Real Madrid did. The last time we faced Manchester City when they came to the Bernabéu, they scored pretty early. Then we took over the game, we scored 2 goals, but our team became fatigued. And I only bring that because of what Carlo Ancelotti said after the game against Manchester City. Here's what Carlo said.
The plan was to press high when Edison brought the ball out from the back, and to have like a medium compact block, to have our 2 forward players on the inside to not allow our centre midfielders to press, to make sure that they were closer to the back line. And with the ball, we wanted to make the pitch bigger and obviously take advantage, or to have control of the ball, obviously, not to be frustrated and look for the killer pass, and in the end, things have gone well.
So if Real Madrid is going to be pressing the ball high up the pitch, and Carlo Ancelotti wants to put a lot of energy into winning the ball high up, Real Madrid successfully did this against Barcelona. We pressed high, we created a lot of chances, but we didn't convert them. So if we are going to press, and there is going to be an emphasis on trying to win the ball high up the pitch, then you need to take advantage of your opportunities. Because if there's anything we learned from the game against City, they are going to give you chances. It looks like Akanji is going to be out for this game due to an injury he sustained during the game, which means Lewis is likely to start at right back. And if that's the case, then I just don't see a scenario where Lewis can contain Vinicius for 90 minutes. That would honestly be a miracle, and if he achieves that, then I'm literally speechless. Because in the very short period of time where Vinicius went against Lewis, he was absolutely destroying that little kid. Now, one of the things that surprised me in our game against Manchester City is the possession was almost even. It was 54% to 46%. And if we can somehow hold on to the ball like that at the Bernabéu, with the form that Kylian Mbappe is in and Rodrigo and Vinicius, then there's no reason why we cannot score more than 1 goal. But one of the biggest question marks from this game is if Rudiger is back and he's healthy, then you obviously need to start Rudiger. And will that be a center back pairing of Rudiger and Tchouaméni, or Rudiger and Raúl Asensio? Because if you put Raul Asensio with Rudiger, then you need to push Tchouaméni into the midfield. And if that happens, then it's more than likely that Camavinga gets dropped. And based on Camavinga's performances, you really cannot drop him. Because when teams try to press high up the pitch, it's actually Camavinga who breaks lines with his ball carrying. Because if you play Valverde at right back, you're going to need Camavinga's ball carrying to break lines. This is a game that Real Madrid does need to win. And if we make it to the round of 16, we're facing either Atletico Madrid or Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti's record against Atletico Madrid has not been that great. And potentially next season, Xabi Alonso could be the manager of Real Madrid. But as long as Carlo Ancelotti wins any kind of title, I think he's going to stay in charge. And simply for the fact that no matter what the board does, whether they give him a right back, whether they give him any kind of reinforcements, or he has to play two midfielders in the back line, Carlo Ancelotti does not complain, he does not go to the media, he doesn't say anything, he keeps quiet and he does his job. And that's why he's likely to keep his job. It's because he provides cover for the board. This is a game that Real Madrid can and should win, but it would be nice to win in a big margin and give minutes to players like Endrick and Arda Güler. A win over Manchester City galvanizes the team into the next rounds of the Champions League. Look, Real Madrid could be a serious contender to win the Champions League this season. If you look around the other teams in Europe, there's not exactly a dominant side that Real Madrid should be fearing. If we eliminate City, that is our biggest competitor out of the Champions League, early into the Champions League. And if our players can stay healthy, then there's really no reason why Real Madrid cannot compete with the best teams in Europe. Liverpool finished top of the group, but we had 5 starters not available in that match. And we were very competitive. Had Kylian Mbappe scored that penalty, we don't know which way the game could have swung. So I hope this is a very important step towards Real Madrid eliminating Manchester City, and we can make a run towards the Champions League. We're not making it easier for ourselves. So from what I understand, even if we face either Atletico Madrid or Bayer Leverkusen, then we have to face either Arsenal or Inter Milan in the quarterfinals. We did not make this easy on ourselves. We deserve to be in this situation because of how poor the team has played in the Champions League campaign, let's be honest. But my prediction for this game is I think it ends a draw or a very late winner for Real Madrid again. Do you guys agree with my prediction? Let me know if you guys agree. I'll be doing a live immediately after the game, so make sure you guys stay tuned to that because I'll provide my immediate reaction and analysis to the game. Thank you for watching. Hala Madrid.